What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with a Hasbro Star Wars The Vintage Collection Market Update. Lots of interesting data here, including one that I did not even know about, as you can see in this thumbnail. There is an interesting variation for the Elite Praetorian Guard that I learned about from Boss Bounty, and we're going to show you that one, as well as the pretty high price that it sold for. Before I dig in any further, I need to say thank you to Eric B. He sent over some vintage collection to give away on the channel, so I'm starting it right now. And the first one we're going to give away is the Target exclusive Droids R2-D2. It's in pretty great shape overall, certainly not near mint AFA 95 plus, but it's in really great shape and it's free. So anyone in the world is eligible. I will ship it anywhere. All you got to do is like this video, make sure you are a subscriber, and then ask a question in the comments for this video. And Eric B was kind enough to send over like 3 or 4 different vintage collection figures, so I'm going to give them away slowly this month. I've already pre-filmed a video for later this month where I say, hey, this is the first of several. Well, no, I decided to get one going early. So this R2-D2 is up for grabs for anyone who is a subscriber, likes the video, and then leaves a question for me. So we will give it away probably next week. But let's go ahead and dig into some awesome data. We're going to start with the vehicles, mint and sealed box vehicles. The first one is the X-Wing fighter. This was a exclusive. I can't remember if it's Toys R Us or Kmart or what. My memory is terrible, but this is the early issue Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, and this one sold in an auction for $122.50. There was only 2 photos, so you don't know exactly what kind of condition it's in, but $122.50 plus $20 shipping. That's about the going rate. They seem to go for about $150 or so these days. So there's another data point for those of you looking for that one. Next up is the AP from Revenge of the Sith with the Darth Maul offer sticker. Now, it did say loose tape on the auction, but it looks pretty clean overall. And I'm sorry, this was not an auction. This was a buy it now situation. It sold for $120 plus $12 shipping. The tape looks pretty clean on there, but who knows what's going on. But it did say it was loose tape. The box also looked to be in pretty great condition. I love the box art on that one especially. It's got the Kashyyyk Troopers, as well as Luminara Unduli, as well as some Wookiees, and pretty great box art. So $120 plus $12 shipping. Next up was the AT-AT, or AT-AT. I always say AT-AT. This was the Toys R Us exclusive Empire Strikes Back packaging, mint and sealed box. That one sold for $405 plus $80 shipping, so about $485 plus whatever sales tax you got to pay. Pretty good deal overall. The box looked to be in pretty fantastic condition. It looked like it was kind of kept in a time capsule. Just really great shape overall and factory sealed. And that price seems to be kind of in line. $450 to $500 is the going rate. It sold kind of right in the middle there at $485 plus taxes. I think that's a pretty good price for a beautiful condition at on the Empire Strikes Back packaging. Next up, we got another data point for the Razor Crest. This also included, it looks like a loose Mandalorian, and it also did have the pack-ins. Well, it had been opened, I'm sorry. So this is not mint and sealed box, but it had not been taken out of the box. So the price was down a little bit, $525 plus $55 shipping, so let's call it about $580, and that's, obviously lower than a mint and sealed box example. Those tend to go for $650 to $725-ish, but this one was open. So you'll have to forgive me on that one. I didn't look at it closely, but it's got the shipper box as well as all the pack-ins, and it was $525 plus $55 shipping. Let's dig into some mint on cards now. We got the AT-AT Commander VC05. This one was punched, and this one was on the U.S. card back. It looked pretty clean. Just 3 photos for it, but that one sold for $99.99 plus free shipping. Came in a star case, and it had the free rocket-firing Boba Fett mail-away offer sticker. So there's a data point there. Next up was the Darth Vader name pill, VC13 Anakin Skywalker on the Revenge of the Sith card. Now, this one did have a little bit of edge wear, as you can see up near the hang tab there. Some edge wear, some scratches, some light edge wear on the corner there. So not mint by any means, and the price stayed low accordingly. It was at auction. It sold after one bid for $99.99 plus $5 shipping. Now, we talked about some unpunched examples that can go for quite a bit more money than that. I think the highest I've seen is $400 or so. But this one was punched, and it did have some wear to it, but $100 plus $5 shipping took that one home. This Jango Fett just ended. I'm making this video as of December 9th. This one was unpunched on the U.S. card back and looked to be in pretty fantastic condition. It sold for $110 plus $9.75 shipping. And again, that's well off of the high prices that we've seen, but pretty good price there. I mean, I think I've seen some recent examples sell for $130 to $140. So in an auction, this one sold for about $120, and it was near mint plus condition. Next up was a Nikto with the Darth Maul offer sticker. This one was also unpunched and also the U.S. card back. This one too looked very clean overall. Had a little bit of wear, I think, on the bottom, on the back. Well, no, not really wear. It's just more like, you know, some card curl that would probably come out in a star case, but very, very clean. VC99 Nikto. That one sold for $99.99 plus $10 shipping as well for one bid. So only one bid on that one, but pretty clean condition Nikto. And again, that's down from the high prices of about $140 that we've seen earlier this year. Got a couple of data points again for the Brian's Toys exclusive Jocasta New. And this one continues to command big money. This one was in an auction on December 7th. This one sold for $202.50 plus $10 shipping on 40 bids. So lots of action on this one. So that's one data point. And then this one also sold for $224.99 free shipping. So about the same price. You know, let's call it about $210 to $225 is the going rate, at least here in the U.S. for the Jocasta New Brian's Toys exclusive. Let's dig into some graded examples now. We got an uncirculated original issue Wicket, graded uncirculated 9.0 gold level AFA with the Clearview case label up top. That one sold in an auction for $97 plus $12.95 shipping. 23 bids on December 7th. I think that price is very fair. And, you know, obviously, you know, this figure has been reissued, so that brings the prices down. But it is uncirculated, 9.0 grade, pretty good price there. I got a couple of different data points for graded Darth Malgus. One of them CAS graded and one of them AFA graded. And they're both the exact same card. Both of them were unpunched and both were the U.S. cardbacks. So this was the CAS 90 grade. And while I'm going through this, I'll let you think about what you think the AFA 9.0 on the modern scale sold for next. But this one was 90 grade, and the sub-scores were 90, 90, 95, VC 96, Expanded Universe, Darth Malgus, beautiful card back. I've got the Canadian version of this one. I love that card back. And this one sold only one bid, $149.95 free shipping. Now, what do you think that the AFA 9.0 example sold for? Here it is right here. And this one was uncirculated as well. So, you know, there are some collectors that are willing to pay a premium for the uncirculated designation. And that was the case here. This one sold for $239.50 plus $12.95 shipping. So, a couple of different data points for one of them was a circulated CAS 90. That one sold for $149.95. I think that's a great deal. And then this one was uncirculated 9.0 on the modern scale. That one sold for $240 plus $12.95 shipping. We have the Razor Crest pack-in version of Grogu. This one, it had some pretty terrible photos. I don't know what's going on with these photos, but they're not great. Had a little bit of card wave to it, which does happen with some of those Razor Crest pack-ins. That one sold for $70 free shipping, 28 bids. I think that's a pretty good price for a nice, clean-looking, fairly clean, probably 85-plus condition Razor Crest pack-in Grogu. Next up, we've got an AFA 8.5 modern scale Mandalorian and Grogu Maldo Crease. And so this one was the Walmart exclusive 8.5 silver level AFA example. Now this was down a little bit. This one sold for $102.50 plus $15.95 shipping. And we've seen as high as about $125 plus shipping for this one. So this one came in a little bit lower, but that is a great card back. Pretty good deal on a Mandalorian and Grogu Maldo Crease. Next up was a surprising final sales price. This was the reissue Ahsoka VC102. It was an uncirculated designation, and it was 9.5 on the modern scale. So very, very, very high grade. And again, it was the re-release, but it was at auction. It sold for $455 plus $10.20 shipping. So that just shows you how expensive this figure can be, going from an uncirculated 9.0, which sells for around $100, to all the way to a 9.5 grade uncirculated. And it's a pretty significant price difference. So about 4 times your money, a little bit over that actually, for the 9.5 grade. $455, 14 bids. That closed on December 5th. So big, big price for a 9.5 uncirculated grade. All right, now we're going to dig into some rarities here. This one is the Elite Praetorian Guard. Now, Boss Bounty told me about this one. I had no idea this even existed, but this is the European exclusive version, and it's missing the warning label in the upper right-hand corner, similar to like the Chewbacca or the Dr. Aphra, where it's missing that warning label in the upper right-hand corner on the card back. So this is the first time I've ever seen this for sale, and it was listed for 249 pounds, or about 305 US dollars, and it sold for 230 pounds, best offer accepted, which equates to about 250-ish US dollars plus shipping. So that's a big price, but again, this is kind of a rarity that I had never heard of, and I just wanted to share that on the channel. So keep an eye out. If you see this Praetorian Guard without that warning label in the upper right-hand corner, that's the European exclusive multi-language, and apparently it goes for big money because it sold for 230 pounds, which is about 250 US dollars. And then another Obi-Wan Kenobi miscard packed in with Mace Windu sold at auction. I didn't see this one sell. Now, in the last market update, we saw one sell for about 248 US dollars, and this one went for even less. This one sold for 202.50 plus $6 shipping, 10 bids on December 9th. So apparently this is a fairly common miscard. I've seen, I think, 4 or 5 of these now, but this is the lowest price I've seen for a modern miscard vintage collection in a long time, 202.50 plus $6 shipping. So prices have come down for miscards, at least for this one specifically, but pretty great combination of card back and character, Mace Windu and Kenobi, and that one was definitely a legit example. So 202.50, great buy. And then I'm going to finish off the video with several lots that sold. This was an interesting lot. It had all Revenge of the Sith card backs. It had an Obi-Wan Kenobi. It had the foil example of the Anakin Skywalker with the Anakin Skywalker name pill. It had Yoda, General Grievous, and Clone Commander Cody. All of them were punched examples, but still, that's a really great combination of figures. And those are all very, very expensive, even punched examples when sold separately. And for all 5 of these, it sold for $345 plus $10 shipping. That is a great buy. That's a really good buy in my mind. Just the Cody and the Grievous alone, I would think, could pretty much, you're probably talking at least $250. So to get all 5 of those for $345 plus $10 shipping was a great buy. Next up was another kind of all modern, newer releases, but it had a bunch of re-releases. It had the re-release of Shae Vizsla. It had the Heavy Assault Stormtrooper, let's see, the Child. It had Fennec Shand. It had the reissue of Anakin Skywalker as a child. The reissue Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi. It had Antok Merrick's droid, the reissue Ahsoka, and then Din Djarin in the Stormtrooper disguise. And then it also came with the Navarro Cantina playset. So that lot sold for $105 plus $20 shipping. So let's call that $125. That's a pretty good deal for all of that in one lot. That's a bargain deal. Here was another lot. I'm not going to run through all the figures here, but all fairly recent releases. That one sold for $102.50 plus $20 shipping. So about, let's call that $122.50. Another really good deal. That's a couple of really good deals on some lots. And then this was probably the steal of the century here. All of these modern releases sold in an auction. They were all included with star cases. And again, nothing rare here by any means. They're all fairly recent releases, all fairly inexpensive figures together. But it was a lot of 40 of them, and $300 plus $69 shipping took that one home. So pretty good deal. You're talking less than $10 a figure there. And you got 40 different figures all packed in with star cases. That's a pretty good deal. So anyway, just some recent transactions that transpired on eBay. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.